Alrighty, today we are going to be working on writing algebraic expressions. So, you should have this sheet in front of you. If you don't, you need to get one, and you need to be filling this out with everything I put on it, just like you would if I was here. Okay? So, it looks like this. However, the back side, right, looks like this. So, unfortunately, it was printed upside down. Sorry about that. Eventually, what I want you to do, and so before you leave today, make sure you get this folded in half, just like we normally do with like notes like this to put in your INB. Glue this side and put this side in. Unless the upside down business is driving you nuts, then glue this part in, but then writing algebraic expressions on this side. Okay. So here we go. Writing algebraic expressions. A little different than pretty much anything you've ever done, right? Because as a typical student, you want an answer. This isn't necessarily an answer. It's not a 5. It's not a 3. It's not a 2. This is more or less a algebraic sentence. That's how you could think of an algebraic expression, okay? It's an algebra sentence. So you're going to have a variable in your sentence, and you're usually going to have a number, or you're going to have two variables. You're going to have a sentence, okay? An algebra sentence, not an answer, okay? So here we go. You're going to see how I'm going to use two colors to work on this, and you may want two colors as well. So if you want to get out a pen or a marker, I'm going to use two, and then in like 3 examples, I'm going to use 3 colors, okay? But probably at most you're going to need is 2, and then if you need a third, it's not a huge deal. Okay, so number 1 is a number increased by 17. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a number. And every time I see a number, I'm going to box that in. A number just means that I need to put in a variable for where it says a number. Okay? Then the next thing I'm looking for in my expression every time is what I'm doing to that number. So am I adding to it? Am I subtracting it? Am I multiplying? Am I dividing? And these are those typical words that we've worked with. So when we're solving problems, right, when we say, oh, difference, okay, what's that mean in math? That means to subtract. Those are the words we're talking about. If you want to reference something, the board at the front of the room has all of those vocabulary words, right? We've talked about these before, but that is a spectacular place to find what those words are. So, a number, and then I hear the word increased, okay? So, now you can kind of see what I'm going to use my 2 colors for. I'm going to use my orange always for a number, so where I see my variable, and then I'm going to use my other color for the operation that I'm doing, okay? So, a number increased by 17. A number, any number, increased by 17, okay? Now, this right here is our algebraic expression. It's a sentence. It's an algebra sentence, x plus 17. This point in time, we're done. We do not need to continue on. We're not going to have an answer, okay? Because we don't know what x is. They're saying any number, okay? So, if, for example, any number increased by 17, that could be talking about the number 2000. That could be talking about the number -2, okay? Any number. Therefore, since it's not a specific number, we put that variable, the x, okay? Number 2, 7 times a number. So I have a number. That's where my variable is going to be. And then I'm listening for the word that means add, subtract, multiply, or divide. So 7 times, right? So 7 times a number. You could write it like that, or I'm okay with you writing it like this. I do not want that. Okay? That's a no-go. Number 3, the total of x and 7. So in this case, it's a little different. They didn't say a number, but instead they gave us our variable of x and 7. And we're going with total, okay? The total of x and 7. So x plus 7. Total means to add. Okay. Number 4, a number decreased by 12. A number, okay, decreased by 12. So decrease, if you remember, means to subtract. So a number decreased by 12. Okay. Number 5, a number increased by 31. A number increased, okay, by 31. So increase, if you remember, means to add. So a number, and I'm just starting to number give these numbers any variable. So like let's do s plus 31. Now typically people don't use s because it can sometimes look like a 5. But I'm just showing you that it can be any number, any variable. Number 6, a cube of a number fewer than 25. So I have a lot of things going on in this. I'm going to go ahead and unnumber, okay, a cube of a number, and then you probably heard maybe one more word in there, and that's where I'm going to pull out my third, and that's fewer than, okay. So the one thing that you want to look for is anytime you're given fewer than. Fewer than, you may want to like star this 6, is a turnaround word, okay? And I'll explain that in a minute. So the cube of a number, I'm going to go the cube of a number, okay? It's the cube of a number, fewer than 25. So what I mean by turnaround is you put this in the opposite place than it was. So this has got to now come in front of your number. So anytime you're given fewer than, wherever it's listed, you have to list it before that. Okay, it's a turnaround one. All right, number 7, 22 increased by the square of a number. Okay. A number, oops, a number, 22 increased by the square of a number. So the square of a number, okay? Anytime you have a square of something that has to go right, that's your exponent. And then increased means to add. And because you're adding, you can do it in either side, right? Adding doesn't matter if it comes before or comes after, where subtraction does. That's why this one matters, where it's placed. Number 8, a number to the 8th power. A number to the 8th power. So, a number to the 8th power. Okay. Number 9, twice a number decreased by 1. A number, okay? Twice a number decreased by 1. So twice a number means 2 times a number. 2 times x. Decreased by 1. Decreased by 1. Okay. Number 10. The quotient of a number. Woo! I normally have been putting that in orange. Sorry, folks. There we go. Okay. The quotient of a number and t. So this one is just a little bit different. I'm going to underline that quotient. Quotient in math means to divide, remember? That's a divide. And in this case, they didn't give us a number, right? They didn't say 25 divided by a number, okay? In this case, they're giving us another variable. That still means we need this a number to be a variable. So in this case, our answer is going to have 2 variables. It's kind of fun. X divided by t, the quotient of a number and t. A number squared less 6. A number squared less 6. Okay? So a number squared less 6. Number 12, 1/2 the square of a number. 1/2 the square of a number. So I hear a number. Okay. I hear 1/2, and I hear square. So I'm going to do a number squared. Okay. Anytime like I've heard like squared or cubed, I just automatically put it right up there because I know it has to be attached to that number. Okay, the square root of a number. And then 1/2. So you can do this either way, right? You can take half times n squared, or you could take n squared and you can divide it by 2. Remember, these are the exact same thing, right? If I have 6 times a half, okay, like 6 over 1 times half, that would be 3. Or that's the same thing as 6 divided by 2. Those two things are the exact same thing. Okay. Double the number. So the number, and then double. Double means take it times 2, so 2x. The sum of a and b. So this isn't giving us a number, this is giving us two variables that we want to specifically call something. So the sum of a and b. The sum of a and b. Sum means to add. 2/3 of a number. So again, we have a number. Anytime it says 2/3, okay, it's kind of our other piece of this. 2/3. Remember what of means? Of means to times. Of a number. 2/3 of a number. Number 16. 2 divided by a number. A number. And they tell you right there. 2 divided by. So 2 divided by a number. Number 17. 17 less than twice the number. The number less than twice the number. Okay, so we're going to have 2 times the number, and then this less than is a turnaround. Okay, so do you see how this one's listed first? You have to turn it around and list it after the number. Less 17. Okay, last one, the difference of 6 and a number. A number. The difference means to subtract. So we're going to have the difference of 6 and a number. Difference of 6 and a number. Okay. Hopefully this is a good introduction to writing algebraic expressions.